Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about Colombia. Uh, we are going to talk about Colombia's tourism statistics and how much money the Colombia makes from tourism. Also the places that you can visit if you ever go to Colombia. And we will briefly talk about its history. Let's begin. The tourism statistics of Colombia, if we are going to talk about that, the amount of tourists that comes to Colombia have been continuously increasing throughout the years. It topped last year with nearly 1.2 million visitors from all around the world. Now, the money Colombia makes from tourism is also been increasing throughout the years, and it peaked just last year with just over $5 billion. Now I will briefly talk about which countries Colombia receives its visitors from. In order, we have Venezuela, the first. We see that Venezuela is very close to Colombia. In fact, it's bordering it. In the second ranking, we have USA. We also have Brazil, which is again a country that is bordering Colombia. Brazil is the third country that Colombia receives most of its visitors from. Then at fourth we have Argentina. Now Argentina does not border Colombia, but it's still very close to Colombia, so that's also a affecting factor when it comes to visitors. At 5 we have Mexico. At 6 we have Ecuador, again one of the countries that is bordering Colombia. At 7 we have Peru. Peru is also bordering Colombia. At 5 we have Chile. Chile does not border Colombia, but it's very close. At 9 we have Spain. And at 10 we have Panama, which is again bordering Colombia. Now I will first talk about some of the Colombia's popular cities, and then I will talk about the places that you can visit in these cities. The first city that I'm going to talk about is Bogota. The city of eternal spring is its nickname. The second one is Medellin. This is the second biggest city in Colombia after Bogota. And we have Cali. This city was found in 1536, and it's called the salsa capital because of the salsa dance. And the fourth city is Cartagena. Now, starting with the places that you can visit in Bogota, first of all, we have Gold Museum. This is a museum that houses artifacts and sculptures that is entirely made from gold. If you have any interest in gold, it's a good place to visit. We have Bogota Main Cathedral. This cathedral is unlike most of the cathedrals in history that is seeing use as museums. This cathedral is actually still is being used as a cathedral. And then the last place that I want to talk about in Bogota is Faenza Theater. This is the biggest theater in Colombia. It is also the oldest theater in Colombia. It can house about 5,000 tourists. Now, if we go to Medellin, we have El Castillo Museum and Gardens. Now, El Castillo is a castle that was built by Spanish. And now it's being used as a museum, and it receives visitors to its gardens. There was a war for this castle in history, and two legendary knights dueled under the old big tree in this castle. with their named swords. The swords' names was Lady Forlorn and Blackfire. The Gwyn Corbray of Kingsguard dueled with Daemon Blackfire, Prince Daemon Blackfire, under the biggest tree in the castle. It was said that their duel was so magnificent that the entire battle around them stopped to watch them fight. Even though this was probably not true, that is not how real battles are fought in history. But it's a good story nonetheless. Plaza Botero. This is a plaza. Again, an old structure that is being used as a museum. And it's got this unproportionate, big, kind of ugly sculptures in its gardens, which receives a lot of visitors. And then we have the Aquarium of Medellin. Again, this is just a big aquarium. If you're interested in fish, go. Now, the only place that I really want to talk about in Cali is Barrio San Antonio. This is the oldest neighborhood in entire Colombia, even though most tourists avoid it because it's a dangerous place. Cartagena. I want to first talk about Old Town in Cartagena. Old Town was this place where nobles lived in the medieval times. It was located in the center of the city, and it was surrounded by these huge walls and fortifications, and nobles lived inside and the peasants lived outside. Now, of course, today there are no walls and there are no classifications as noble and peasant. But it is a very important place in Cartagena. And then the last place that I want to talk about in Colombia is San Felipe de Barajas Castle. It's a funny name. It was built by Spanish. This castle is built into a mountain, so it's a rock. Defensive-wise, it's one of the best fortresses in the entire world, in the entire history. It's got 4 different walls, so if attackers gets past the first wall, the defenders can fall back to the second wall and then just keep defend it. It's got tons of arrow holes that archers can see and shot at the attackers. But it's placed in a way that the attackers can see these holes, but archers can still see the attackers. Also, the castle is huge. It was, again, built into a mountain, so it can house a lot of provisions and food. So it can store enough food that is enough for the entire castle for about 3 years. So the attacking army can siege the castle for 3 years, and the defenders can just be inside defending and not having problem about food. So the attackers probably will run out of food first. Also, one of the other reasons why it's so easy to defend is that the place is huge. Again, it is a castle that is built into a mountain. To surround it, you need a huge army and a lot of money, because again, to raise armies you need to have money. So it is one of the best fortresses in the entire world, and it was never conquered in the history. Never. Now, I want to thank you for listening. This is everything that I'm gonna tell you about Colombia. Once again, thank you for listening, and have a great day or night.